Hello again, it's True Blaster blessing you with the truth. I want to put something on here in regards to marriage and relationships. I hear a lot of people talking about it. And some people really are not experienced enough to talk about it. But being a man that's been married 22 years, that hasn't been single since 1995, I'm going to talk about it a little bit. And I would entitle this 5 Red Flags Before Marriage and 5 Red Flags to Watch Out For During Marriage. Let's start with the before marriage. Okay, number 1, if you plan on marrying any of these women in 2020, you need to protect yourself by not having a marriage license, number 1. You know, you have a written agreement in place that if something happens to you, your wife will be power of attorney or whoever you want to appoint. But no marriage license. No, that's number 1. Number 2, you want to have a prenuptial agreement that protects you in case the marriage goes bad. Case in point, let me give you some things you might want to put in there. That if the marriage goes bad and it's just irreconcilable differences or just two people not being able to get along, you want to put in there that you will support, that you agree to allow me to support my own children apart from the government, apart from governmental interference, or however you want to word it. And agree that if you don't support, then you face consequences. But you should be allowed to support your own kids without governmental interference. So you want to put that in there, and you want to keep receipts of everything you do and everything you buy. 5 red flags. Number 1, more than 3 sex partners. If you have to, get a lie detector test, but if you start catching her up in a lie, that's number 2, about her sexual activity and about her emotions for previous boyfriends. That's a red flag. Number 3, violence toward you. If she throws anything at you or she tries to attack you, that is a red flag. Because see, most of these women out here will play the victim role. Like, they'll act as if they haven't done anything, even if they try to fight you. Case in point, a guy I knew down in Texas, he kept saying stuff to his wife, and his wife was never answering. He noticed over a period of days she was always texting somebody, and she never would tell him who it was. After he got tired of it, he just grabbed her hand and took her phone from her and was going through it. She called the police and told the police that he was physically assaulting her. And this was the 4th of July. He ended up going to jail. You know, the way he told the story was funny, but it's serious business. So violence would be number 3. Number 4, close to bad relatives. Like, let's say she's close to relatives that are committing fraud and committing crimes, and they be stealing, but she's close to them. That's a character red flag. That if she is close to people who do those sorts of things, then it will make you wonder how she would be and how she would be if you and her broke up. And number 5, I would say, I have many more, but number 5, I would say, no spiritual backbone. You're going to need your wife to have a spiritual backbone that will kind of help uh, her in regards to like avoiding sins and things of that nature. She has to be a real bona fide lover of God and understand God. Because if she just grace this, grace that, she liable to do something and try to cry her way through or pray her way through it. But if she understands that God is nothing to be played with, that is a good thing. If she doesn't believe in God, she doesn't truly understand that Bible like that, then that is a red flag. And those are the 5. Before you get married, you want to look at those things. If she's violent towards you, if she had more than 3 sex partners, because she's more than likely gonna gravitate back to what she was. Honorable mention, I would say, if she's flirtatious or she cares who looks at her and who likes her, that would be another red flag. And when you learn these things, don't bring them to her because she's just going to figure out a way to defend herself against them. Just keep them in your mind and watch for it. Don't be scared to break up with these women, man. Now, 5 red flags for people that are already married. Number 1, any activity involving exes, going out to dinner, texting, on the phone, anything involving exes is a red flag, because she's supposed to be you. Number 1, let's just go back a little bit. For one, never get into a relationship for love. You a man. Get into a relationship because that's what you want to do, because it's like a godly way of expression. But don't get into relationships for love, man, because people change. So if she dealing with her ex in any type of way and you find out, that's a red flag, your marriage is in trouble. Number 2, number 2, disrespectful speech towards you. I know people say things they don't mean, but when people will tell you they don't like you or they don't need you, or they'll just get somebody else, or they say things like, I'll hit you up for child support, those are all disrespectful speeches. And you have to be careful with that. And you forgive, but you don't forget. Number 3, I would say taking gifts from other men. She's taking any type of gift from any man, whether she knows him or not. If it's not her daddy or not her brother, it's a red flag.